Have you ever reached for a piece of fruit, thinking it's the healthiest choice you can make, only to wonder if it could silently harm your body? As a brain doctor, I'm here to reveal a shocking truth. Some of the most common fruits in your kitchen could be increasing your risk of stroke and heart attack after age 60, especially when eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong way. From overripe bananas to seemingly innocent grapes, these hidden dangers lurk in your fruit bowl, wrapped in a healthy package. You need to watch this video until the end because I'll walk you through 6 surprising fruits that could be doing more harm than good, sharing life-saving strategies to enjoy them safely, and uncovering critical medication interactions that are tragically overlooked. Knowledge that could protect your brain, your heart, and your future. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Fruit number 1. The overripe banana, a potassium and sugar overload. Let's begin with the humble banana, a globally cherished fruit celebrated for its soft texture, natural sweetness, and grab-and-go convenience. Often hailed as a nutritional powerhouse, bananas are packed with potassium, a mineral essential for heart health, nerve function, and muscle contractions. However, for older adults, particularly those over 60, the very qualities that make bananas so appealing can pose a significant and often overlooked risk for stroke, especially when the banana is overripe. Understanding the science behind this risk and adopting smarter consumption habits can make all the difference in protecting brain health. As a banana ripens, its chemical composition undergoes a dramatic transformation. The complex carbohydrates or starches that dominate in a green or just yellow banana break down into simple sugars, primarily glucose and fructose. This is why an overripe banana, with its characteristic brown spots and mushy texture, tastes intensely sweet. While this sweetness enhances its palatability, it also skyrockets the fruit's glycemic index, GI, a measure of how quickly a food raises blood sugar levels. An overripe banana can have a GI as high as 60 to 70, compared to 40 to 50 for a less ripe banana, making it a high GI food that causes a rapid and significant spike in blood glucose. For older adults, this sugar surge is particularly problematic for 2 key reasons. First, aging is often accompanied by reduced insulin sensitivity, a condition where the body becomes less efficient at moving glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy. This inefficiency leads to prolonged high blood sugar levels, which trigger a cascade of inflammatory responses throughout the vascular system. Imagine this inflammation as a corrosive force, gradually eroding the delicate endothelial lining of arteries, including those supplying the brain. Over time, this damage promotes the formation of atherosclerotic plaques, fatty deposits that narrow arteries, and increases the likelihood of blood clots that can block critical blood flow to the brain, causing an ischemic stroke. The second concern is the banana's high potassium content. A single medium banana contains approximately 400 to 500 milligrams of potassium, which is about 10 to 12% of the daily recommended intake for adults. In younger individuals with healthy kidneys, this potassium is efficiently filtered and excreted. However, kidney function naturally declines with age, reducing the body's ability to manage potassium levels effectively. Consuming a large amount of potassium in one sitting, such as eating 2 overripe bananas in a smoothie, can overwhelm aging kidneys, leading to a condition known as hyperkalemia, or elevated blood potassium levels. Even mild hyperkalemia can disrupt the electrical signals that regulate the heart's rhythm, potentially causing arrhythmias such as atrial fibrillation. These irregular heartbeats increase the risk of blood pooling in the heart, where it can form clots that may travel to the brain, triggering a stroke. Consider the case of Margaret, a 76-year-old retired librarian who prided herself on her health-conscious lifestyle. Every morning, she blended 2 overripe bananas into a smoothie, believing it was a wholesome start to her day. One morning, she awoke feeling profoundly dizzy and struggled to speak clearly. At the hospital, doctors diagnosed a mild ischemic stroke. Blood tests revealed dangerously high potassium levels and a significant blood sugar spike, both of which had created a perfect storm. The sugar surge caused vascular inflammation, while the potassium overload triggered a heart rhythm disturbance that likely contributed to clot formation. Margaret's story underscores the hidden dangers of seemingly healthy choices when not tailored to the physiological changes of aging. The brain-saving solution for bananas can still be part of a healthy diet for older adults, but they must be consumed strategically to minimize stroke risk. Here are detailed recommendations to enjoy bananas safely. 1. Choose greener bananas. Opt for bananas that are firm and yellow, ideally with a slight green tinge at the stem. These less ripe bananas contain more resistant starch, a type of fiber that resists digestion in the small intestine, and less simple sugar, resulting in a lower glycemic impact. Resistant starch also promotes gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria, which can indirectly support cardiovascular health. 2. Control portion size. Limit yourself to half a banana, about 60 to 75 grams, per serving, rather than consuming 1 or 2 whole bananas at once. This reduces both the sugar and potassium load, making it easier for your body to process. 3. Pair with protein or fat. Never eat a banana on an empty stomach, as this accelerates sugar absorption. Pair it with a source of protein or healthy fat, such as a handful of walnuts, rich in omega-3s, a tablespoon of almond butter, or a slice of cheese. These pairings slow gastric emptying, stabilizing blood sugar levels and reducing inflammation. 4. Time it right. Avoid eating bananas late in the evening or at night when your metabolism and kidney function are at their slowest. Consuming bananas earlier in the day, ideally at breakfast or as a mid-morning snack, allows your body more time to process the sugar and potassium effectively. By following these guidelines, you can enjoy the nutritional benefits of bananas while safeguarding your brain and heart health. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Fruit number 2. Grapes, the deceptive sugar bombs. Next, let's turn to grapes, those small, juicy orbs that seem like the epitome of a light, healthy snack. Whether red, green, or black, grapes are a favorite for their refreshing sweetness and ease of consumption. However, for adults over 60, grapes, particularly the sweet, seedless varieties, can be a deceptive contributor to stroke risk due to their high glycemic load and the ease with which they can be overconsumed. Understanding the science behind this risk is crucial for making informed dietary choices. Grapes are composed primarily of water, fiber, and simple sugars, glucose and fructose, with a single cup, about 150 grams, containing roughly 23 grams of sugar, equivalent to about 5 to 6 teaspoons. Their glycemic index ranges from 45 to 59, but their glycemic load, a measure that accounts for both the GI and portion size, can become significant when you eat more than a small handful. Popping a large bowl of grapes, especially on an empty stomach, delivers a rapid surge of glucose and fructose into the bloodstream. This sugar rush is particularly problematic for older adults, whose insulin response is often sluggish due to age-related declines in pancreatic function and insulin sensitivity. This rapid blood sugar spike triggers a cascade of inflammatory responses in the vascular system. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a primary driver of atherosclerosis, the process by which arteries become hardened and narrowed due to the buildup of plaques. Additionally, high blood sugar levels promote a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins in the blood, forming harmful compounds known as advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These AGEs stiffen artery walls, making them brittle and more prone to rupture or clot formation. Over time, this silent damage accumulates, increasing the risk of a clot lodging in a narrowed brain artery, leading to an ischemic stroke. The case of Evelyn Morris, a 79-year-old retired music teacher, illustrates this danger. Evelyn's mid-morning ritual involved reading with a large bowl of red seedless grapes, which she considered a healthy alternative to processed snacks. One day, while writing a birthday card, she noticed her hand trembling uncontrollably, followed by difficulty recalling how to spell congratulations. She had suffered a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often called a mini-stroke, which is a warning sign of a potential major stroke. Blood tests revealed elevated inflammatory markers and a significant blood sugar spike, both linked to her habitual grape consumption. Evelyn's story highlights how even healthy foods can contribute to serious health risks when consumed carelessly. The brain-saving solution for grapes can remain a delightful treat, but they must be approached with the same caution as a sugary dessert. Here's how to enjoy them safely. 1. Strict portion control. Limit yourself to a small handful of grapes, about 10 to 12 grapes, roughly 100 grams, per serving. This keeps the glycemic load manageable and prevents overwhelming your insulin response. 2. Pair with protein or fat. Always combine grapes with a source of protein or healthy fat to slow sugar absorption. For example, pair them with a handful of almonds, a few cubes of cheddar cheese, or a dollop of plain Greek yogurt. These pairings help stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. 3. Avoid nighttime snacking. Refrain from eating grapes in the evening or before bed. Your body needs stable blood sugar levels and minimal inflammation during sleep to support repair and recovery processes. A sugar spike at night can disrupt this balance and stress your vascular system. 4. Choose lower sugar varieties. When possible, opt for grapes with slightly lower sugar content, such as green grapes, which tend to be less sweet than red or black varieties. Check the label if buying pre-packaged grapes, as some are bred for extra sweetness. By treating grapes as an occasional treat rather than a limitless health food, you can enjoy their flavor while minimizing their impact on stroke risk. Does the connection between sugar and stroke surprise you? Many people associate stroke primarily with fats or cholesterol, but sugar's role in vascular inflammation is a critical, often overlooked factor. Fruit number 3. Pineapple, the triple threat of enzyme, sugar, and acid. Finally, let's explore pineapple, a tropical fruit beloved for its sweet tangy flavor and juicy texture that evokes a sense of indulgence. While pineapple is often marketed as a health food due to its vitamin C content and digestive enzyme bromelain, for older adults, especially those on certain medications, it poses a triple threat that significantly elevates stroke risk. Understanding these risks and adopting careful consumption habits is essential for protecting brain health. Threat number 1. The bromelain effect. Pineapple contains bromelain, a proteolytic enzyme widely praised for its anti-inflammatory and digestive benefits. However, bromelain also has potent anticoagulant properties, meaning it can inhibit platelet aggregation, the process by which blood clots form. For most people, this effect is mild, but for the millions of older adults taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, consuming large amounts of pineapple can dangerously amplify the medication's effects. This increases the risk of uncontrolled bleeding, including the catastrophic possibility of a hemorrhagic stroke, where a blood vessel in the brain ruptures. Hemorrhagic strokes are less common than ischemic strokes but are often more severe, with higher rates of disability and mortality. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Threat number 2. The sugar load. Pineapple, much like overripe bananas and grapes, contains a significant amount of natural sugars, which can pose a hidden risk to cardiovascular and metabolic health if consumed in excess. A single cup of pineapple, approximately 165 grams, contains roughly 13 grams of sugar, contributing to its moderately high glycemic index, GI, which ranges from 59 to 64, depending on ripeness and preparation. The glycemic index measures how quickly a food raises blood glucose levels, and pineapple's GI places it in a category that can cause noticeable blood sugar spikes, particularly when consumed in large portions or in isolation without fiber-rich or protein-rich foods to slow digestion. When pineapple is eaten, especially in substantial quantities or during periods of reduced metabolic activity, such as in the evening when the body's insulin sensitivity naturally decreases, the rapid influx of glucose and fructose into the bloodstream can overwhelm the body's regulatory mechanisms. Glucose, the primary sugar in pineapple, is quickly absorbed, causing a sharp rise in blood sugar levels. Fructose, another sugar present in pineapple, is metabolized primarily by the liver, where excessive amounts can contribute to fat accumulation and metabolic stress over time. This dual sugar surge triggers a cascade of physiological responses that can harm the cardiovascular system. The immediate effect of this sugar overload is an inflammatory response, as the body struggles to manage the rapid increase in blood glucose. Chronic or repeated spikes in blood sugar can lead to the production of pro-inflammatory molecules, which damage the delicate endothelial lining of arterial walls. This inflammation creates an environment conducive to the development of atherosclerosis, where arteries become narrowed and hardened due to plaque buildup. Additionally, high blood sugar levels promote glycation, a process in which sugar molecules bind to proteins and lipids, forming advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These AGEs further weaken arterial walls, making them more prone to rupture or clot formation, both of which are significant precursors to ischemic stroke, where blood flow to the brain is obstructed. For older adults, the risks associated with pineapple's sugar content are particularly concerning. As we age, the body's ability to regulate blood sugar often declines, with reduced insulin sensitivity and impaired glucose metabolism becoming more common. This age-related metabolic decline can amplify the negative effects of a high-sugar fruit like pineapple, especially if consumed frequently or in large servings. Over time, the cumulative damage from repeated blood sugar spikes and the resulting inflammation and glycation can significantly elevate the risk of cardiovascular events, including ischemic stroke, which remains one of the leading causes of disability and death among older populations. To mitigate these risks, portion control is critical when consuming pineapple. Pairing it with foods high in fiber, healthy fats, or protein, such as nuts, yogurt, or leafy greens, can help slow the absorption of sugars and reduce the glycemic impact. Additionally, consuming pineapple earlier in the day, when metabolic processes are more active, may help the body manage its sugar content more effectively. For individuals with pre-existing conditions like diabetes or metabolic syndrome, consulting a healthcare provider or nutritionist for personalized guidance is advisable to ensure pineapple fits safely into their diet. By understanding and moderating its consumption, the potential health risks associated with pineapple's sugar load can be minimized while still enjoying its vibrant flavor and nutritional benefits. Threat number 3. The acidity factor. Pineapple is one of the most acidic fruits, with a pH ranging from 3.2 to 4.0. For older adults, whose digestive systems are more sensitive due to reduced stomach acid production or weakened esophageal sphincters, pineapple's acidity can trigger silent acid reflux, particularly when consumed at night. This reflux may not cause noticeable heartburn but can lead to microaspiration, where tiny amounts of stomach acid enter the airways during sleep. This causes inflammation and reduces blood oxygen levels, a condition known as nocturnal hypoxia. Research has linked nocturnal hypoxia to an increased risk of early morning strokes, as low oxygen levels strain the cardiovascular system and promote clot formation. The story of Clara Hughes, a 77-year-old retiree, illustrates these combined risks. Clara replaced her nightly dessert with a few slices of fresh pineapple, believing it was a healthier choice. One morning, she awoke dizzy and unable to walk steadily. Hospital scans revealed a small ischemic stroke that impaired her balance and memory. Blood tests showed elevated blood sugar, disrupted clotting factors due to an interaction with her low-dose aspirin, and evidence of nocturnal oxygen drops likely caused by silent reflux. Her beloved pineapple had contributed to all 3 risk factors. The brain-saving solution for pineapple can still be enjoyed, but it requires careful moderation and timing, especially for those on medications. Here's how to incorporate it safely. Eat small portions early in the day. Limit pineapple to a few small chunks, about 50 to 75 grams, and consume it earlier in the day, such as at breakfast or lunch, when your metabolism is more active. This minimizes the sugar spike and allows your body time to process the bromelain. Consult your healthcare provider. If you take blood-thinning medications, e.g., warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, consult your doctor or pharmacist before eating pineapple. Bromelain's anticoagulant effects can interact with these drugs, and your healthcare provider may recommend avoiding pineapple or adjusting your medication. Avoid nighttime consumption. Never eat pineapple within 3 to 4 hours of bedtime to prevent acid reflux and sugar spikes during sleep. This reduces the risk of nocturnal hypoxia and vascular stress. Pair with neutralizing foods. Combine pineapple with foods that buffer its acidity and sugar, such as plain Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts. This slows digestion and minimizes blood sugar fluctuations. By treating pineapple as an occasional treat and following these precautions, you can enjoy its flavor while protecting your brain and cardiovascular health. Always check with your healthcare provider if you're unsure about dietary interactions with your medications. Fruit number 4. Watermelon, the misleading hydrator. Watermelon, with its vibrant red flesh speckled with black seeds, is synonymous with summer refreshment. Its crisp, juicy texture and sweet flavor make it a beloved choice for picnics, barbecues, and hot afternoons. Comprising over 90% water, watermelon is often heralded as nature's perfect hydration tool, a go-to for quenching thirst and cooling down. However, for older adults, particularly those managing chronic conditions or taking common medications, this seemingly innocent fruit can pose a subtle yet significant health risk, potentially leading to severe consequences like dehydration and even stroke. The hidden danger lies in watermelon's potent diuretic properties, which are not widely understood. Watermelon contains high levels of an amino acid called citrulline, which the body converts into arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that promotes vasodilation, relaxing blood vessels and improving blood flow, a benefit in many contexts. However, this increased blood flow also stimulates the kidneys to produce more urine, effectively acting as a natural diuretic. For most people, this effect might go unnoticed, but for older adults, particularly those on prescribed diuretic medications, commonly referred to as water pills, for conditions like hypertension or heart failure, the combination can be perilous. Imagine a typical scenario for a senior. You take your evening dose of a diuretic medication, such as hydrochlorothiazide or furosemide, to manage high blood pressure or fluid retention. Later, you enjoy a generous serving of watermelon, perhaps 2 or 3 large wedges, thinking it's a hydrating, healthy choice. Unbeknownst to you, the watermelon's diuretic effect compounds the action of your medication, dramatically increasing urine output. As you sleep, your body loses significant fluid, leading to a dangerous drop in blood volume. This reduction causes your blood to become thicker and more viscous, a condition known as hemoconcentration. In older adults, whose blood vessels may already be narrowed by age-related changes or atherosclerosis, this thickened blood significantly heightens the risk of clot formation. The danger is particularly acute during sleep, when your body's blood pressure naturally dips to its lowest point, a phenomenon called nocturnal dipping. This combination of low blood volume, thick blood, and reduced blood pressure creates an ideal environment for a silent ischemic stroke, a blockage in a blood vessel supplying the brain that can occur without immediate symptoms. The consequences can be devastating, ranging from mild cognitive impairment to severe disability or even death. Consider the real-life case of Mr. Howard Lynn, an 82-year-old retiree who prided himself on staying active and eating healthily. Each evening, he would enjoy 2 large slices of watermelon after dinner, believing it was a smart way to stay hydrated in the warm summer months. Unbeknownst to him, his diuretic medication for heart failure was already taxing his fluid balance. One morning, he attempted to stand and collapsed, unable to steady himself. At the hospital, diagnostic tests revealed clear signs of dehydration, elevated blood urea nitrogen, BUN, and hematocrit levels, indicating thickened blood. A brain scan confirmed a small ischemic stroke. His doctors traced the issue back to the compounded diuretic effect of his medication and his nightly watermelon habit, which had dangerously depleted his fluid levels overnight. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The brain-saving solution. To enjoy watermelon safely, older adults must take proactive steps to mitigate its risks. 1. Time your consumption wisely. Enjoy watermelon earlier in the day, ideally before mid-afternoon, to allow your body ample time to process the excess fluid before bedtime. Avoid eating it as a late-night snack, when its diuretic effects could disrupt your fluid balance during sleep. 2. Practice moderation. Limit your portion to a small serving. Think 1 small wedge or half a cup of diced watermelon, rather than indulging in large quantities. This helps minimize the diuretic impact. 3. Be medication savvy. If you're taking diuretic medications or any drugs for heart conditions, consult your doctor or pharmacist before making watermelon a regular part of your diet. Ask specifically about potential interactions and whether your fluid intake needs adjustment. 3. Monitor for dehydration symptoms. Pay close attention to early warning signs of dehydration, such as dry mouth, excessive thirst, morning dizziness, lightheadedness, or feeling unsteady upon waking. These symptoms may indicate that your fluid balance is off, and they should not be dismissed as mere aging. By treating watermelon with caution and respect, you can enjoy its refreshing qualities without jeopardizing your brain health. Fruit number 5. Oranges and grapefruit, the medication saboteurs. A glass of orange juice with breakfast feels like a classic, healthy choice, but here's something most seniors were never told by their doctors. Oranges, and especially their potent cousin grapefruit, can quietly interfere with the most common medications you take, turning a safe dose into a dangerous one. The concern isn't just the sugar, although a glass of juice can spike your blood sugar rapidly. The real danger comes from a class of natural compounds called furanocoumarins. These compounds are found in high concentrations in grapefruit and, to a lesser extent, in Seville oranges, often used in marmalade and other citrus. Furanocoumarins are potent inhibitors of a critical enzyme in your liver and intestines called cytochrome P453A4, or CYP3A4, for short. Think of CYP3A4 as your body's primary medication processing plant. It's responsible for breaking down and clearing nearly 50% of all prescription drugs. This includes many of the most common statins used to lower cholesterol, like Lipitor and Zocor, calcium channel blockers used for high blood pressure, like Norvasc, and some anti-clotting drugs. When you consume grapefruit or its juice, these compounds essentially shut down the processing plant. The result is that your medication is not broken down and cleared from your body as it should be. It builds up in your bloodstream to potentially toxic levels. A blood pressure pill you've taken for years could suddenly become too strong, causing your blood pressure to crash and leading to falls or poor blood flow to the brain. A statin drug could build up, increasing the risk of muscle damage and other side effects. The stability of your entire medication regimen is thrown into chaos, dramatically increasing your overall stroke risk. The brain-saving solution. Avoid grapefruit completely. If you are on any statin, calcium channel blocker, or several other common heart medications, my professional advice is to avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice entirely. The risk is simply not worth it. Be cautious with other citrus. While oranges have fewer of these compounds, it's wise to separate them from your medication time. Don't wash down your pills with orange juice. Always ask your pharmacist. Your pharmacist is your best ally here. When you pick up a prescription, ask them a simple question. Are there any food or drink interactions I should know about with this medication, specifically with grapefruit? This is critically important information if you're on medication. Please take this seriously. Fruit number 6. Mangoes, the sweet deceiver. Mangoes, with their lush, golden flesh and tropical sweetness, are often seen as a decadent yet healthy treat. Their soft texture and rich flavor make them a favorite for older adults, especially those looking to replace processed desserts with natural alternatives. However, for individuals over 60, particularly those managing diabetes, prediabetes, or taking medications for heart conditions, mangoes can be a deceptive health hazard, contributing to dangerous blood sugar spikes and medication interactions that elevate stroke risk. The first issue is mango's extraordinarily high sugar content. A single cup of sliced mango contains approximately 23 grams of natural sugar, comparable to a sugary dessert. When consumed, this sugar surges into the bloodstream, triggering an inflammatory response in the arteries. For individuals with prediabetes or diabetes, conditions that already increase stroke risk by damaging blood vessels and promoting clot formation, this sugar spike can exacerbate vascular inflammation and instability, setting the stage for a cardiovascular event. Beyond sugar, mangoes contain a compound called mangiferin, which has antioxidant properties but can also interfere with the liver's cytochrome P450 enzyme system, much like the furanocoumarins in grapefruit. This system is critical for metabolizing medications such as statins, blood pressure drugs, and anti-arrhythmic medications used to treat conditions like atrial fibrillation. Regular consumption of mangoes, especially in large quantities or in concentrated forms like dried mango, can slow the clearance of these drugs, leading to a buildup in the bloodstream. This can result in side effects ranging from mild, e.g., dizziness, to severe, e.g., toxicity or increased stroke risk. The case of Mr. William Booker, an 83-year-old retired firefighter, illustrates this danger. Determined to eat healthier, he replaced his evening cookies with dried mango slices, unaware of their concentrated sugar and mangiferin content. He was also taking medication for atrial fibrillation, a condition that already increased his stroke risk. After several weeks, he began waking up lightheaded and unsteady. One morning, he collapsed, and hospital tests revealed a mild ischemic stroke. Blood work showed abnormally high levels of his medication, despite adherence to the prescribed dose. His doctors determined that the dried mango had slowed his liver's ability to metabolize the drug, leading to toxic levels that destabilized his cardiovascular system. The brain-saving solution. To enjoy mangoes safely, older adults should treat them as an occasional indulgence rather than a dietary staple. 1. Limit portion sizes. Think of mango as a dessert, not a main course. Stick to a small portion, such as a few thin slices or a quarter of a small mango, to minimize sugar intake and its inflammatory effects. 2. Avoid dried mango. Dried mango is a concentrated source of sugar and mangiferin, amplifying its risks. Opt for fresh mango in small amounts instead. 3. Time and pair strategically. Consume mango earlier in the day, when your body is better equipped to handle sugar, and pair it with protein or healthy fats, e.g., a handful of nuts or a slice of cheese, to slow sugar absorption and reduce blood sugar spikes. 4. Consult your doctor. If you're taking medications for heart disease, blood pressure, cholesterol, or arrhythmias, discuss your mango consumption with your doctor or pharmacist to ensure it won't interfere with your treatment. By approaching mangoes with caution and moderation, you can savor their sweetness without compromising your brain health or medication efficacy. We've just uncovered the surprising risks hiding in 6 common fruits: overripe bananas, grapes, pineapple, watermelon, citrus, and mangoes, and how they can impact your health after age 60, from sugar spikes to dangerous medication interactions. My goal was to empower you with knowledge, not fear, so you can make wiser choices to protect your brain, heart, and independence. What have you learned so far? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below with one key takeaway you've gained from this video and how you plan to put it into practice in your life. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more life-saving insights.